Joining us now in Studio B is the BYU Sports Nation Between the Lines trivia champion, all-around cool Canadian, Greg Wrubell. Welcome, Greg.
Hello, Spencer. Good to see you again.
It's good to see you.
Since our last interaction.
I told you yesterday, and I said on the show, I thought Spencer covered. I thought you would have been favored by a certain amount, and Spencer got maybe a little closer than I thought.
You know, I don't know what the odds makers really felt about that matchup, but
I'll check with Vegas next time.
You know, I'm just straight money. Like, just win it. You know.
Yeah.
I don't care what the margin was. Just got to win it.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I get it.
Yeah.
G is for Greg and for Gonzaga, right? You just go
for
and win.
Not gambling.
Go and win. Okay, let's start with our Twitter question today, Greg. All-time 3-on-3 team BYU players in their prime.
Well, I would lean toward yours, but I want to, so we can have three different teams. I want to just deviate from that a little bit. I'll have to, because if I have your team, then we're the same thing. So I'll just I'll replace Kresimir Ćosić with Michael Smith. So I'll go with that. I'll go Jimmer, Danny, Michael Smith. 6'10". We know he can shoot the three. He can make his free throws. He's going to shoot 88% from the free throw line. Good rebounder, good assist. He really can do it all. And so again, if you have to not include Kresimir, I'll throw Michael Smith in that mix. Yeah,
it's not a bad idea to go with a first-round NBA draft pick.
Never a bad choice.
And I have to presume that Devin Durant could also have hit the three, but he didn't have really the chance. Right. Michael got to show it at least a little bit in his college career, and his free throw numbers. I think if you're going to look for a tiebreak, Michael can knock him down every time he steps up there.
Yeah, I think people overlook the fact that Michael Smith was such a good outside shooter at 6'10".
Right, 6'10" guy that could hit that shot and then make all of his free throws. Yeah, I'll take him.
I think pre-70s we all agree on the three, right? Let's Roland Minson, Mel Hutchins, and Dick Nemelka. Consensus, right?
There's no debate. There's no debate.
There isn't.
I mean, every BYU fan believes that.
Yes,
right.
everyone.
Now that's Roland Minson basketball.
Okay, let's talk about the current BYU team. Not Dick Nemelka, although we love Dick. 5-game win streak. Who's the Cougar MVP of this 5-game win streak right now? It's been awesome to see these guys go out and put together good road wins and win 5 in a row.
Yeah, not to denigrate by any stretch Yoli Child's double-doubles or the impact Gavin Baxter's had, because Gavin's first start coincides with the first win of the 5-game win streak, right? Or how well McKay Canada shot the three and defended, or even the insertion of Nick Emery. I've got to go with TJ Haws. He's the primary ball handler, has to do so much. He's got 7 or more assists in his last 3 games, I think, right now. He has the career high scoring night. He's the WCC Player of the Week. He's had a couple of subpar shooting days during this 5-game win streak, but he's found other ways to compensate. I just think for as important as he is, as much as the ball is in his hands, he's the motor driving things right now. And it can't be overstated how important it is to have a guy that can knock down his free throws when it really matters. He went 19 for 20 from the stripe in these 2 back-to-back comeback road wins. Since it's never happened before in the Dave Rose era, back-to-back double-digit comebacks on the road, you want to look for things that would, help make it happen. And TJ Haws going 19 for 20 helps. And during the 5-game streak, I think he's 33 for 36 at the free throw line. It's a big deal, especially when the free throws kind of threatened to maybe unravel all the good that was happening in San Diego last Thursday night. TJ Haws made it happen there.
Collectively, BYU basketball coaches, staffers, players all anticipated that the Cougars would be a good three-point shooting team. It did not work that way for much of the early season, but now we're starting to see this change during league play of a good three-point shooting team. Why do you think it has changed in favor of the Cougars now once they've gotten into WCC play?
Well, you can't have 3 of the top 15 all-time three-point shooters on the roster and not expect to be good at it. I mean, TJ Haws, Nick Emery, and Zach Sellius are all in that group. And that group comprises the best freshman three-point numbers BYU's ever seen. And they're all on the same team right now. So you'd expect them to be good. If they were that good as freshmen, you'd expect progression as they go along in their career. And yeah, there were peaks and valleys. And there are reasons maybe for a couple of the dips in the numbers, whether health-related or absence-related. But these are 3 guys that are among the all-timers in that shot. So you'd hope they could do it, over a long stretch of time, and that's actually what's come to occur.
You throw in McKay Cannon.
Right. His volume's not there, but his percentage is. And that's just like a welcome bonus, the fact that McKay still leads the WCC in three-point percentage in league games. And Zach's number 3 right now. And so, again, they're not the volume guys necessarily, but they certainly are shooting a good number. And the fact that Zach was able to go 4 for 4 from 3, and the last one he hits in the LMU game is the one that kind of created some distance and let BYU kind of settle in and finish that thing out. It was huge.
He needs to go with the sleeve every game. That's my opinion.
You think that's the secret?
I think that was one of the secrets. Yeah, exactly. Yesterday we talked about BYU in the at-large mix. It's a way outside shot. They probably need to win the tourney. But do you feel like, and you tweeted about this yesterday, that the West Coast Conference could be a multi-bid league this year? Right now, Lenardi has St. Mary's and San Francisco just out.
Well, let's look at what's happened to the league since BYU joined it. And since BYU's been in the league, it has the profile of a multi-bid conference. They've never not put multiple teams in when they've been a top 10 Ken Pom league, and they're number 8 right now. And 8 would match the highest ranking the league has ever had. And the adjusted efficiency margin as a league as a total is the second best since BYU's joined the league. So the profile says multiple bids. Now, the complicating factor is before the year, going in, especially based on how everyone was doing out of conference, I thought the second-place team in the WCC is an NCAA tournament team this year because the league is that good.
Yeah.
Okay? Well, now that BYU's the second-place team, do we have to re-examine? And in a way, we kind of do because of the fact they went 8-7 out of league and didn't win a road game out of league. Everything's flipped around in conference, but will it be enough? The numbers say no. BYU's never made the NCAA tournament outside the top 50 in Ken Pom. They've never missed it when they're inside the top 50. So that's kind of the cutoff line, at least for BYU it has been since Dave's been the head coach. And that's MWC or WCC, 50, top 50 you're in, outside you're out. That's kind of the way it's been every year. Right now they're 73. So they need some, they have some room to make up. But let's keep in mind, they've moved up 35 spots in 3 weeks.
Yeah, and Ken Pom told us yesterday, we messaged him, how big of if BYU ran the table minus Gonzaga until Tuesday, that they would be in the 50s. Yeah, so they wouldn't be at 50.
Right, you're gonna, but you're close.
Yeah. Now, close.
Now then, a win over Gonzaga changes everything. 50. Let's go back to the last time BYU made the NCAA tournament. They had to beat the number 3, number 2 team in the country in Spokane, and it really got them in.
It was their only quad 1 victory of the season.
It got them in. So you're looking at a similar setup. It's kind of the similar vibe, a win in Spokane on Saturday, presuming, of course, they win their home games, and all of a sudden you're putting BYU in that, hey, this might do it, but it would take something like that, beating Gonzaga here down the stretch.
And now BYU becomes this sort of multi-bid wrecker, perhaps, because St. Mary's and San Francisco are trying to get in, but the best thing for the league would be San Francisco winning tomorrow. But BYU is trying to defend their home court.
But not good for any one of us up here.
Exactly.
So let's not
exactly. The name is BYU.
Right. Yeah.
But BYU's in a weird place, though. It's kind of fun, though, to play that role.
Yeah, well, I think the place BYU's in is just keep winning, right? And see what happens in the end. And if you win your home games only, you're going to be the 2 seed. You're going to open play on semifinal Monday on ESPN or ESPN2 in Las Vegas.
Thank you, Gonzaga.
Pretty good place to be. So again, it is so funny. You know, you look at and what I hope the committee too. Not that I'm throwing BYU on the bubble right now because they've got a ways to go to get there. But ideally, what any coach hopes his team does, and what any committee member I think wants to see from the teams they're looking at, do these teams actually get better? Are they actually peaking at the right time? Yep. And BYU's kind of pacing that way, which is a great thing to see.
Okay, in terms of improvement and looking at how BYU has gotten better, where do you think they have improved the most, going from non-conference 8-7 now into conference play at 10-3?
Defensively, I think the 80-point games allowed were becoming more the norm. Toward that November-December stretch, and it's been the 80-point games allowed are much rarer now. BYU's winning lower-scoring games. I think the combination of Gavin Baxter and McKay Cannon, and you can even add Nick Emery to the mix, has given BYU a different defensive feel in that starting 5. And so that's where the biggest changes occurred. But the three-point number is right next to it. BYU is, in league play, the 3rd best three-point shooting team. Better than Gonzaga, better than St. Mary's. Okay, so I think those two factors combined have been the most consistent thing. But really, it is a personnel thing, and it's a progression thing. Seeing Gavin Baxter as a starter has made teams alter a little bit of their game plan from first time to second time around.
He is the voice of the Cougars, between the lines, trivia champion, and all-around good man Canadian.
Well, thank you. And speaking of trivia, I did stumble upon a fun fact that I tweeted out this morning about TJ Haws. I was thinking about TJ and how well he's played this year. So TJ's been a consistent scorer through his entire career. It surprised me a little bit to find out he's only the 3rd BYU basketball player ever to score 400 or more in his freshman, sophomore, and junior seasons. Can you guess the other 2?
I saw the tweet.
Okay, so Jerem's recusing himself. Yes. So it's again Spencer.
I even saw the follow-up with Kresimir. Yeah.
What do you think?
His brother Tyler.
No, not one of them.
Tyler
was just shy of 400 as a
did not
freshman.
score 400
He was in the
points as a
390s, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
It was Jimmer's
Yeah.
junior. He was shooting
Yeah.
a lot at that point.
Okay, Jimmer Fredette.
Not Jimmer.
Freshman
Remember
year.
his freshman,
didn't score
no
400.
starts.
No.
He was a bench player.
Murdoch.
Ben Murdoch. Did Ben Murdoch get 400 his freshman year?
Matt Montague and Ben Murdoch.
Yeah, I don't know. That's an interesting stat. Who is? I have no idea.
Well, I think if we give you enough time, you come up with at least
Sean
one of them.
Bradley?
Danny Ainge is one.
Okay.
Remember, Sean played 1 year.
That's right.
He's got to score 3
Oh,
years.
3
ago.
years.
That's right.
Right.
So
Okay.
Danny, of course, came in as a stud, and he was amazing. So
Okay.
Danny Ainge is one of
Okay.
them. And the other one I think would surprise everybody. Did it surprise you a little bit to figure out who it was? See who it was in the tweet? Remember who it was?
Was it Devin Durant?
No, it wasn't.
No, who was it?
It's Mark Bigelow.
Mark Bigelow scored
Mark came in as
400
a freshman
plus.
and had a ton of
Yeah,
PT.
they
and he
needed a
was
lot
good.
from him. That was
Yeah.
really the start of
That
the
is the
Steve
surprising
Cleveland,
one.
Dave Rose era. But really, they relied on, and he was steady. He was 400s in each of his 4 years, and he and Danny are also the only two 400-plus guys in all 4 years.
TJ's
so TJ
got a
can
shot,
do
you're
that
saying.
right next
Yeah.
year. Yeah.
That's very cool.
Wow. Tyler 390 did not do it.
Yeah, right around there.
390. If you go 390 plus, then okay, yeah.
He's the trivia champion, people.
Thanks, Greg.
You bet, guys.
Appreciate it, man.